Hey, what's going on, everybody? Drag Keep here, and welcome to part 2 of What If Deku was in the business course. I know that I said it was a different thing in the first one, but once I uploaded it and gave it its name, I forgot what it was called, so I just gave it what it basically tells you. So, now what I forgot to tell you in the previous one was what happened with Izuku's training with Hawks. So, basically, he's extremely buff and incredibly fast, along with extremely agile. He can jump from building to building and make it look like he's soaring from building to building. So anyway, let's get back into it. And sure enough, it's Izuku's first day in UA. Right. Everyone questions why a buff guy like Izuku is there, but no one really bothers it. Well, until they get to the point where they have to explain their quirks. Then everyone in their heads is like, oh, so that's why he's in the business course. And of course, replacing Izuku in Class 1A at the time is Shinzo. So, because I think it'll be perfect, so F you. Anyways, well, F you if you don't like that, which I honestly doubt. Anyways, then at the end of the day, Izuku walks out, and then gets out of UA, and then gets a call from his mother, she told Izuku to meet him at a particular storage unit. And sure enough, he goes, okay, let's get right into it. But before he could go any further, Ida and Uraka meet up with Izuku. Because from where they were, which was at the front of UA, and Izuku was pretty far ahead of them. And to them, Izuku looked like one of their classmates. And Ida and Uraka went, hey, what up? Izuku turned around and Ida said, oh, sorry about that young man. We thought you were one of our classmates. Mates from the hero course. Izuku says, that's fine. It's honestly not that bad. It's fine. And Uraka says, so what's... And so what course are you from? Izuku said, oh, I'm from the business course. I'm gonna help my mother. In fact, I was just on my way to help my mom with her business. Ida goes, oh, what's her business? And Izuku says she owns a pawn shop. Right now she's at a storage unit. And I can help her out so that she doesn't overbid on storage units. And Uraka and Gus said, oh, hey, can we join too? And Izuku said, sure, and no problem. And the three start walking, and while they're walking, Izuku asks what their quirks are. Uraka said, oh, I can alter the effects of gravity of an object just by touching it. And Ia said, and I have engines in the back of my legs. And Izuku goes, engines? Isn't that a little bit like engines on your legs? Isn't that a little bit like Ingenium's quirk, but on his elbows? And Ida said, well, he is my brother. He is my big brother, Tensei. Izuku says, that makes sense. And Ida says, so, what's your quirk? Izuku says, oh, my quirk is called price tag. Basically, if I look at something, I can figure out how much it's worth. Uraka goes, wow, that's impressive. So, did you buff yourself up because no one thought you could become a hero? Well, and you were picked on a lot? Izuku says, oh no. No, I'm buffed because of Hawks' training. And Ida said, you trained with Hawks? And Izuku said, yep. Oh, and there's the storage unit. Well, I gotta go, guys. Make sure you take care. Take care, Uraka. And they say, later, Midoriya. As Izuku gets to the storage unit and helps out with with Inko's store, pawn shop. Anyway, Izuku, we skip during the, how do I say this? The USJ attack. And Izuku, Ida comes through the door to Principal Nezu's office, who was talking to Izuku because he was wondering what's going on. Anyway, Ida told Principal Nezu that villains are attacking the USJ. And that 13 and Aizawa are in pretty bad shape. And sure enough, Izuku says, well, then I best be going. Well, I'll talk with you later, Principal Nezu. See you later. And Ida says, see you later, Midoriya. And as Ida, Principal Nezu, and the Pro Heroes come in, they find that Mineta has been taken out by Shigaraki. Well, not technically taken out, but just to the point where his head is just extremely damaged. Enough to the point where I'm not going to hold it back. He's paralyzed. Shigaraki paralyzed Mineta. So anyways, as Izuku and they get to the hospital, and once everyone gets out of the hospital, Izuku sits in his seat and gets ready for the business course to get started for the day. But sure enough, President Mike and Aizawa will come out and basically we say, okay, as you know, one of our students from class 1A is badly injured. So we've decided to let one of you guys join class 1A and become and train as a hero. So, who you think would be a great hero? And everyone in the business course was just pointing at Midoriya. And Aizawa looks at him and says, I've heard a lot about you. The kid who was trained by hawks. I learned it from one of our classmates. Tenya Ida. I'm sure you'll be glad to hear that you'll be in the same class as him. Now come on, we don't have time to waste. Izuku says, oh, well, okay. This puts a dent in my plans, but I'm sure I'll be back. I'm sure it'll be done in no time. And sure enough, everyone is wondering what's going to happen. But anyway, Aizawa comes in and says, okay, we have two things to talk about today. One, we have a new student to replace Mineta. Please welcome originally from the business course, Izuku Midoriya. And Izuku walks in and waves his hand. And Aizawa says, please tell everyone your name and your quirk. And Izuku said, oh, okay. Hi, as you heard, my name is Izuku Midoriya, and my quirk is called price tag. If I look at something, I can basically figure out how much it's worth. Great. And Aizawa says, great, now sit down. You'll be sitting in the seat that Mineta was in. Right over there. Izuku says, okay, sir. Izuku then walks over to his new seat. As Aizawa says, alright. Now, we're going to be having a UA sports festival soon. So I expect everyone to train on their quirk. And Izuku, since your quirk doesn't affect your physical body, I expect you to train on your physical body. And that's how I'm going to leave it off. So, Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, boom, slap that like button across the face. Catch you next one, guys. Laters.